Phrasal verbs. Love them or hate them, you cannot avoid them. Even if you don't use them yourself, you're going to see them, hear them, read them all the time. A common mistake that I hear, even from my higher level students, is the difference between grow and grow up. This gets mixed up all the time. By the end of this video, you will understand the difference between grow and grow up. We're also going to look at variations like grow into and grow out of. We will look at different contexts such as business, academic, daily life. We're going to look at different verb tenses as well and different sentence structures. So we will do lots of things. Stay with me. It's going to be good. So starting off, we need to realize this is an irregular verb. So make sure that you're pronouncing the different forms correctly. Grow, grew, ooh, 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 and grown, grown. Grow, grew, grown. Now, with irregular verbs, it's always a good idea to learn the ones that have the same pattern. For example, blow, blew, blown, blow, blew, blown, or fly, flew, flown. Can you think of any more that follow that same pattern? So the first couple that immediately came to my mind are, do you know of any others? Know, knew, known. Or if you're artistic, you might have automatically thought of draw, drew, drawn. Okay, now we know how to pronounce it properly. Let's take a look at the difference between the main verb grow and the phrasal verb grow up. So when we look at the main verb to grow, the definition is to increase in size, number, strength, or quality over time. Okay, so we know it has this idea of something getting bigger. Let's have a look at some examples. If you keep eating chocolate without doing any exercise, your waistline will grow. It's a nice way of saying you'll get fat because your size will grow, or the number on the tape measure of your waistline, that will get bigger. So your waistline will grow. Oh, I need to stop eating chocolate or do some exercise. My plants have grown much taller thanks to the summer sunshine and good quality compost. Now, it's clear here that I am talking about their height. If I tell you that I am growing tomato plants and my tomatoes have grown, well, now it's not the height of the tomato, but the size of the tomato. So, the height of the plant, the size of the tomato. Everything's getting bigger. But in this next example, what am I talking about? Our company has grown significantly over the past year. Well, I could be talking about the number of employees, maybe the number of branches, or maybe our market share, possibly our range of products. It's a good sentence, but I would definitely be waiting for more information in the rest of the conversation to find out exactly how, in what way has the company grown. I didn't deal with the problem when I first noticed it, and it quickly grew out of hand. Oh, this is a beautiful expression here. To grow out of hand or to grow out of control. And this just means that now it is too big for me to deal with, to handle, to fix, to resolve on my own. So I need some help. Now, you know I like to make these classes a little bit more difficult, so let's throw in a third conditional to imagine what would have happened if I had dealt with that problem right away. Remember, the third conditional is formed with the past perfect, and then we need a past modal, would, could, should, might, have, and then that past participle, which is why it's really important that you know those different forms of irregular verbs. Okay, so following that rule, how would you complete this sentence? If I had dealt with the problem when I first noticed it, it wouldn't have grown out of hand. I mean, that's my example. Maybe you have something different. If you have something different, leave me a comment. Let me know. Now, if you follow my channel, first of all, thank you. You'll know that I love paraphrasing, and synonyms play a big role in doing this successfully. So, a couple of the main synonyms we can use for grow would be to increase or to expand. You can get more specific and maybe say to widen or to lengthen. Anything that has that idea that something is getting bigger. You could just say to get bigger. Let's look at some examples. Our team has expanded recently. So maybe our team has grown by a couple of new colleagues. Sales have increased by 20%. And a longer example. The metro system has been extended by an additional 15 kilometers to service the growing suburban areas. Now, this is a really nice one because I've actually got passive voice. So the metro system has been extended by someone. So it's passive. But then I decided to keep grow, but I'm actually using this not as a verb. I'm using this as an adjective. We looked at participle adjectives in another video. So it's got this idea that it is happening now, it is in motion, it is temporary, but I am describing these urban areas. They are big areas, they are nice areas, they are safe areas, they are growing areas. Beautiful. Okay, let's jump over to the phrasal verb grow up and look at that definition. So to grow up means to become an adult, to mature over time. Now, some phrasal verbs are separable and you can split them and put something in the middle. For example, to pick a highlighter up or to pick up a highlighter. So I can separate that. But to grow something up, doesn't work. So you're always going to keep this together. For example, where did you grow up? So not where were you born, but where did you spend your childhood? So for me, I was born in England, but I grew up in the UAE. This is quite a common topic on the IELTS exam, so you might have an essay question like this. Many students who grow up in rural areas face challenges when they move to cities for higher education. What are the challenges they face? What solutions can you suggest? Now, when I was a child, I dreamed of being a famous novelist when I grew up. But then I got busy with work and life, and now AI seems to be writing everything. So, what about you? When you were a child, we're going back in time now. When you were a child, what did you dream of being? Or what did you dream of doing when you grew up? So, this is thinking about the future in the past. So, what did you dream of being when you were a child? Okay, so everything right now seems quite straightforward. We've got grow, meaning get bigger, and grow up, meaning become more mature. Okay, but you've got to be careful because grow up can actually be used as an insult. Imagine that you are at work and you have quite a serious job, and then there is the office clown who is always pulling practical jokes on people and annoying them. So, if they pull a prank on you, then you might, as an insult, say, "Oh, Bob, just grow up." Or, "I wish you would grow up, Bob." So this means, "Bob, I think you are acting immaturely and I want you to become more mature. Don't be so childish. Don't be so immature. Grow up." Now, don't forget to consider the different word forms. So we are looking at to grow up. It's the verb. But what can we call someone who has finished that process of growing up? I mean, yes, of course, you can call them an adult, or you can say a grown-up. Maybe you heard this when you were a child. Maybe your parents had a party and you wanted to go to the party and they said, "I'm sorry, this is for grown-ups only. Children, go outside in the garden." Or, "This conversation is for grown-ups. You wouldn't understand." Or, "That movie, it's for grown-ups." What about in this sentence? Have you seen Ariane's little girl recently? She's looking so grown up. What is that? Noun, verb, adjective, adverb? What is it? So if you're not sure, always try to replace it with something. So can you say she's looking so teacher? No. So it cannot be a noun. She's looking so angry. Yeah, that works. Okay, so it is an adjective. Now, there are a few synonyms for grow up, but the number one that we always use is to mature. That's what we're really saying. So it's the way that our brain works and interprets information. We are becoming more mature. For instance, when you grow up, you'll realize what you did was wrong. When you mature, you'll realize what you did was wrong. So we are highlighting the way that you view the world, not that you're going to become taller and then you're going to realize what you did was wrong. No, it's your mentality. So the confusion sometimes starts because children grow and they grow up, because they get taller, they get bigger, and they become more mature. So in some cases, you can use both to describe what's happening to a person or a child specifically. Okay, so you should be getting a little bit more comfortable with the idea that grow is about size, grow up is about maturity. So I could say that researchers aim to grow sustainable food sources. So that's literally they are growing food. The food is getting bigger. Or I could say many children who grow up in a house with pets learn to be more responsible. So It's quite an easy one, right? Because when you mention children, you automatically expect that we're going to be talking about them growing up, getting more mature. Okay, now it is time for a tricky one. Take a look at the sentence and decide if you are going to fill in that space with grow or grow up. Our new product didn't perform as well as we had hoped in the initial launch, but we expect profits to grow up to 1.2 million by the end of Q3. Now, we are actually using the verb grow. It's not the phrasal verb grow up, it is the verb grow. But it's tricky because we are still using up. Up means this is the maximum point that we expect it to grow to. So we expect profits to grow up to 1.2 million. Oh, this is why it gets confusing. I did say it was going to be tricky. So we're looking at this difference between grow in size and grow up in maturity. Here's another example. I should have bought a bigger size jacket for Mikey to grow into. At this rate, he'll grow out of this one in a matter of months. So I'm not just using grow or grow up. Now I've got grow into and grow out of. So if you grow into something, then it means that you are becoming big enough that it's going to fit you. So Mikey is growing and growing and growing. I should have bought a bigger size jacket and then he could grow into it later. But this isn't only about size. So we could say that Susan struggled when she was first promoted, but she has since grown into her new role, meaning that she has gained the experience, the knowledge, the confidence to handle her new position. And the opposite, of course, is to grow out of something because you're becoming too big for it. This could literally be like Mikey and his jacket. He's going to become too big in a few months and the jacket will not fit him anymore. Or it could be that you are too mature. I'm sure all of us played with some toys as a child. Barbies, little toy trucks, whatever. And then one day we decided, no, I'm too mature to play with these toys. So you grow out of your toys. Could be the same for a position at work. So if you have been in the same position for a long time and you are not feeling challenged, you're feeling quite bored, well, maybe you have just grown out of your position. Maybe there are no possibilities for advancement in your company. So you could say that you have grown out of your company and it's time to move somewhere else. Okay, it's time for a little baby quiz. I've just got 4 sentences for you, and I'd like you to decide, are you going to use the main verb grow or the phrasal verb grow up? But be careful of the verb tense. What exactly do you need to complete these? Pause this video, think about it. Okay, how did you do? Let's take a look together. So, number 1, if you grow any more, you'll need a new bike. So, we're talking about size. You're going to get too big and your bicycle will be too small for you. So, you will need a bigger bicycle. Number 2, what did you put? Children grow so fast, don't they? Children grow up so fast, don't they? Both of these are correct. It is more common to talk about children maturing, so it's a little bit more common to say grow up, but both of your answers are fine. What about number 3? Our business aims to grow its market share next year. We're just talking about increasing, making it bigger. And the last one? You've got 2 choices with the last one, but I'm talking about verb tense. So, I want to wait until Sammy grows up a bit more to tell him that he's adopted. Because I just don't think he's going to understand it now. He needs to be more mature. So you could use the present simple, until Sammy grows up. Or you could say, I want to wait until Sammy has grown up. This is a little bit nicer and it's more commonly used in British English. So we're saying step 1, Sammy has grown up. I don't know when that's going to be, and then I will tell him. All right, I hope you are feeling really confident now. The difference between to grow and to grow up. We've looked at it in lots of different contexts. We've looked at different verb tenses. We've practiced that pronunciation. And now it's time for you to go and just write a few sentences that are personal to you so that you remember them. As always, if you have found this video helpful, please give me a thumbs up, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more vocabulary, grammar, pronunciation lessons, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, guys. Bye.